From a small Midwestern town in Ohio to the foot of Mount Olympus in Greece, Major General David Bice's 3 decades worth of a military career has taken him places only few of us can imagine. From the Republic of Vietnam to Okinawa, Japan, Bice has commanded Marines at every level from platoon to division. His assignments also included command positions in Europe, Hawaii, and being an exchange officer with the United Kingdom Royal Marines. After earning his esteemed role as a commanding general of one of the largest Marine Corps bases in the U.S., Camp Pendleton, California, General Bice retired from the Marines in 2002. After a 2-year stint working as an international defense consultant, he returned to active duty in 2004 to support the global war on terrorism. And that is just a brief snippet of your bio, and I was so impressed, and wow, I have to ask you, with more than 3 decades behind your belt, what has been the highlight of your Marine Corps career? That's probably really hard to do, but...
Well, it's actually the people. I mean, when I think back, it's not the places, it's the people I've seen, and the individuals, the families, the loved ones, and the whole like there. It's, my family grew up, I have 3 grown daughters now.
What are their ages?
They're in their 30s, and I have grandchildren, and 2 are married, and my youngest daughter is not married, but she's enjoying full life there in Louisville, Kentucky. So yeah. It's been a great experience for me. You know, when I started out, I was drafted actually.
In 1968.
I was in college, and I was drafted, and my last act of civil disobedience is I joined the Marine Corps to beat the draft. You know, some people can't follow that logic, but others can.
And then you remained for 34 years.
That's right.
It's
I showed
incredible.
In, didn't I?
Fascinating. Now, what has been the biggest challenge of those 34 years? You're all right here on Guam.
Yeah. No, you know, there have been challenges throughout, but you know, I look at this project as a challenge. But also is an achievable. I have not seen anything that can't be worked through. There's nothing out there that we can't working teamwork together to solve these issues. There aren't problems, just challenges we just need to take on.
Now you must have 1,000,001 stories. What would you say is the most humorous story of maybe an experience you had, you know, in one of your tours around the world?
Yeah. Well, I would say that I was exchange officer I was with the Royal Marines. The Queen came to visit us one day, and of course the day before, the protocol officer from Buckingham Palace came down, and we were standing in the lawn, kind of small groups there, and the Queen was to come around and talk to us. And this was the days, it's the early 80s, the days of Dallas. And so the protocol officer come up to me and he says, "Oh, American, could I ask you to please don't touch the Queen and don't say howdy," you know, as if we would say howdy. So the next day, and I said I wouldn't do it. So the next day, the Queen came by, and they said, and ma'am, we have an American here, and she stuck out her hand, and of course I shook her hand and, you know, violated the first rule. And Prince Philip came by, and then he stuck out his hand. He said howdy. So the rule.
And there they were telling you, don't do it, but they were actually doing it, and you had to reciprocate.
That's right. Yeah, great people.
Oh, what was that experience like?
Oh,
meeting
it was
them?
wonderful.
Oh my God.
But that's what the military provided. You know, I came from a small farm in southeastern Ohio, and never expected to do that. And that's what the military provided me, in opportunities that I could only dream of.
What about Greece? What was that experience like?
That was a wonderful experience.
It is beautiful there.
Down there as a deputy NATO commander, right at the foothills of Mount Olympus, and you know, all the stories you hear about Greece, and I can hear the music playing in the background right now in a Greek restaurant. So it's a wonderful time.
There you go, and the food as well.
Yeah.
Now, your command at Camp Pendleton, California. I have to go back there because I actually used to live there. My father was a Marine there, and it is one of the biggest bases I've ever been to because my father was in the Marine Corps for 25 years.
40,000 Marines who live and work there, plus their families, and civilian workers, upwards of 100,000 people on a daytime population there. Wow. Great challenges, but great opportunity, great people there. And it kind of set out that, to me, as is how do you take on a very large project? How do you protect the environment? Because as you know, in Southern California, as all over the world, protecting the environment in the coastal region is a very sensitive, very important job. And we learn those skills and how to work with that at that place.
And bar none, they have one of the best training grounds there because of the land mass.
Oh, it is. And in fact, Marines trained there in preparation for the assault on Iwo Jima in 1945. So it's a lot of historic training went on there in preparing our Marines for worldwide conflicts, for the last 60 years.
And you were a big part of that, and it's great to know. Now, U.S. Vice President Dick Cheney is scheduled to travel to Guam to visit our troops stationed here. What all does his agenda include?
I have no knowledge on that. I haven't seen his.
You won't be actually accompanying him?
Right at this point, I am not scheduled to, no.
Oh, okay. Darn. I was hoping you could just tell us what your show and tell will include, but okay. Now, in closing, what has been your overall experience on Guam, and what will you tell others about your experience on Guam?
Well, I will be continuing, my visitations out here to Guam, every couple months or so, and when the need comes out here to get the situational awareness of issues on the ground and that, I will have a director out here who will be directing activities here. But as I take issues back to the Pentagon and back to Washington D.C., it's be important for me to convey to the leaders in the Pentagon that of the support of the American people out here in Guam, and that's the key thing. Yeah, we have some challenges, but we can overcome them, and overwhelming support from the people, from all the community leaders and business leaders that I've talked to.
Now, I usually end the interview by allowing our guests final comments, and I know you did want to share something on how individuals can actually prepare themselves for this military.
Yeah, I think, and I talked earlier about businesses, but I think that there's great opportunity for individuals, whether they are skilled professionals or even individuals who may have dropped out of high school. Use this opportunity to prepare themselves, because jobs are going to come. And opportunities are going to come, and don't miss it.
Sounds like it's definitely going to be a win-win situation.
Thank
you for your time. When you're back on Guam, will you please consider coming back on the show?
I will, Sonia. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thanks so much. We'll be right back to close.